that can really just touch a little bit about this lifestyle program and how you can maintain a healthy lifestyle. She is the 2017 Transitions Lifestyle Trainer of the Year. She's a certified weight management coach, and I'm very honored to have her here tonight. She's an excellent speaker. She speaks all over the country, and I want to give you Jessica Michaud.
Thank you to Lisa and Ed for putting on this incredible event, right? So happy to be here. I'm from New Jersey. Anybody here coming up from New Jersey? Woo! So, 2 seconds on my background. I came to TLS not with a nutrition background. So I'll be the one speaker here today that doesn't know all the molecules and everything about everything. But I came to TLS as an unhealthy person. So I was someone that suffered from different autoimmune conditions. I had food sensitivities, and I'd really never connected the dots between the food and how it made me feel. I think I'd always grown up thinking I had an issue with dairy, but my dad worked for Kraft Cheese, so there was a whole lot of Velveeta, around my house. My mom cooked fish by marinating it in milk, which seems kind of gross now. So when I think about all the food issues that I developed over the years, a lot of it started for lack of education, for lack of connecting those dots. When I started working with TLS as a participant a little over a decade ago, I can guarantee you that I was literally the most reluctant person. I had a grain addiction. So Dr. Z, I would have been his #1 patient. Anybody here like bagels, pasta, bialys, muffins, cereal, oatmeal, anything like that? That was me. I don't know that I've ever had a meal that didn't include pasta or, from dinner most of my growing up. And that connection was really bad. So when I looked at this program and I looked at the potential of having to restrict some of the foods that I thought were survival foods, I was intimidated by it. This program changed everything, and I really became a coach selfishly to keep myself in the back of the Panera Bread line. And then as I started to see both myself change my health, change my body composition, as Dr. Skluth was talking about, and then see it with clients of mine, it really became something that I became passionate about. So let's talk about what the program is. So as the professionals before me have spoken about, all these different health effects come from being overweight and obese, come from being in an inflammatory state of some kind. So from high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, body aches and pains, joint pain, coronary heart disease, cancer, sleep apnea, everything that we've been talking about for the last hour. The challenge is that most of us do dieting the wrong way. And the problem is that we're dieting. We are trying to get to an end game of losing some period of weight to go to a wedding, to go on vacation, and we're losing the concept of living as a lifestyle. The challenge is that diets don't work. A lot of that is for a few different reasons. One, we lose water and not muscle. So how many of you guys have done some kind of diet where you feel really great the first week because you've dropped 7 pounds and then you start eating the next week and you gain it back? The challenge is every time we lose weight, we lose water first, then we lose muscle, then we lose fat. But when we go off our diet, the thing that comes back first is the fat. And it doesn't come back as neat and tight as it is the first time you have the fat. It comes back jigglier and not as attractive, right? So we want to avoid that. All calories aren't created equal. So many programs out there have you restricting calories in some way. You can look at a lot of food comparisons and see that unhealthy foods technically are lower in calories, but it doesn't make it healthy for you. So we want to be looking at quality of food, not quantity of food. And some of that is because calorie depletion causes neurological changes in your diet. It causes your metabolism to slow down. And when your metabolism is slow, you don't create muscle. You don't have lean muscle. You have more of the body fat, like everyone was talking about before me. Hormonal changes, metabolic changes, all of these get impacted by dieting. So this is where TLS comes into play, because what we really want to do is look at all the components of just a healthy eating lifestyle, so you can stop thinking, oh, I can't go out with my girlfriends on Friday night because I'm on a diet. Or they're going to say to me, oh, or you're not eating that because you're on a diet. I find I kind of always come back to the analogy of my kids who have food allergies. They don't eat some foods because they literally can't eat those foods. They're not healthy for them. So as Dr. Z was talking about before, eating grains is unhealthy for you. But even if you want to include grains, our program has menu plans that include that. So TLS has 4 key components. The first is low glycemic impact eating. The second is improving body composition. quality supplements to address underlying health issues, and education. So let's kind of tackle them very quickly. This chart is what pretty much sums up what happens when we eat, okay? When we eat food, our blood sugar level rises. When our blood sugar level rises, we go into what's called fat storage mode. In fat storage mode, what do you think you do with fat? Store it. What happens after you go into fat storage mode, when you're up in this red zone, is that you crash. So how many of you have kids or your teachers and you give them a waffle for breakfast and they're feeling high as a kite for, about an hour and then they crash right after? Or for you even, having a bagel in the morning and then you crash after. That's going from that high to that low. The challenge is that everything in the red zone, you're storing fat, all right? In the blue zone, when your blood sugar level is stable, you're burning fat. So in order to change body composition, we want to burn fat. So we're going to talk about that in a second. But what we want to do is be eating in a way that balances the blood sugar level so that you can do just that. The challenge is if you just look at the glycemic index of food, it's going to be confusing because three things lower the glycemic index of food: fiber, fat, and protein. What our program does is look at the combinations of food, so you're looking at your whole plate, your whole meal, to make sure that your blood sugar level is balanced. A perfect example of this is something you guys probably know. If you compare raw carrots to a peanut M&M, you would think, in theory, the carrot being a vegetable would be lower glycemic, but it's not, because there's a peanut in that M&M. It's going to spike your it's going to lower the glycemic index of it. How many of you, when you have carrots, eat the entire 1 pound bag? always somebody who loves carrots that much. How many of you, if you had a 1 pound bag of peanut M&Ms, would devour it in 20 minutes? Right? So that's kind of looking at the load versus the index. So what TLS focuses on is the whole overall impact of what your meal is. So for example, if you had a piece of bread with your dinner and you had protein and vegetable and you had a whole meal, the glycemic index would not spike up so high because you'd have fiber and fat at your meal to help stabilize your blood sugar. So when we teach people how to eat according to glycemic impact, it's about these food combinations. In doing that, you manage your blood sugar level, keep it stable, and it gets you in this fat burning mode, which is what we want, so that we can do step 2, which is changing your body composition. So I think the biggest thing I learned through this program was I grew up, like probably most of you here, constantly paying attention to the scale. And what was sort of eye-opening to me is that you could take 5 women who all weigh 150, or even men, doesn't matter, that all weigh 150 pounds. They're going to be different heights, different body shapes, different health, but yet we spend a lot of time on it. So while your weight is certainly an indicator that you're moving in the right direction, it's certainly better to be a lower weight than a higher weight, it doesn't always tell the whole picture. Generally speaking, for those of you that don't weigh yourself a lot, if your pants are tighter, do you feel uncomfortable? Right? So that's body composition. At the end of the day, we look at people and you're a size 2, a size 4, you're 22, whatever. It's all sort of that. The challenge is the more body fat you have, the higher your body composition, the more predisposed you are to all the health issues that Dr. Z was talking about. So we want to make sure your body fat is low. The other big thing is that pound for pound, fat takes up more mass in your body. So 5 pounds of fat and 5 pounds of muscle weigh the same, okay? But muscle might be this big versus fat being this big. Think of it like a beach ball versus a golf ball, okay? So we want to be focused on losing weight in the form of body fat so that our body composition changes. So when I look at even the weight loss that I had, our clients have, it's really powerful because you can lose up to 15 inches before you've lost a pound. I just did measurements for a client of mine yesterday. She's on, it was a little early I thought for measurements, but she was at the end of her 3rd week. She just did this 21-day program. And she had lost 3 pounds, was a little depressed about that, but she lost 3.5 inches in her waist, which she was really happy about because that's how she felt in her clothes. So the other thing is that the lower your metabolism, the more lean muscle you have, the higher your metabolism is. So we want to make sure we're revving your metabolism so that you can also be getting healthy. So this sort of gives you the analogy of the size of 5 pounds of fat, 5 pounds of muscle. The third thing is quality supplementation. So I'm definitely a believer conceptually that you can get everything you need in food. However, we don't control a lot of the soil that our food is grown in. And most of us, at least most of my clients, especially those, let's say, that are on the heavier scale, always lead with, I eat really good. And it's always a challenge because everyone's perception of eating good is different. So that can bring in food sensitivities, that can come into hormonal issues, that can also come into your inflammatory state. So as Dr. Z was talking about with the inflammatory state, the more inflammation you have in your body, it's hard to lose weight. So we need to reduce that inflammation. So different things that happen in your body that require you to take supplements include poor dietary habits, this sort of yo-yo dieting of eating so your metabolism gets slow. The leptin hormone that everyone was talking about that kind of triggers and tells you when to stop eating, tells you that you're not hungry anymore. The ghrelin hormone, when you don't sleep enough, the ghrelin hormone is high, it makes you hungry. I always think back in college, where you didn't sleep as much and then you'd wake up in the morning and you wanted like a Big Mac, right? That's that ghrelin hormone to me telling you that you're hungry. Cortisol levels, like we talked about, when your cortisol levels are high, your body gets a signal to store fat and other hormones as well. Carb sensitivity, metabolic syndrome, stress, we need to burn fat, and then gut health. Gut health is huge. We don't have enough time completely to talk about gut health, but when you don't have the enzymes in your body to break down foods, when you don't have enough good bacteria in your body, all those things put your body in sort of an acidic state so that it's hard to lose weight. So just touching base quickly on some of the supplements that we found to be really good for your gut that this company has that are phenomenal. I can go breeze through the omega-3s because Dr. Z covered that. That's really important for reducing inflammation. Digestive enzymes, bar none, are my favorite product that this company has. I've seen within my own family, myself, clients, people who have food sensitivities, people that have reflux and IBS, see such benefit from taking it. Whether it's in the handy travel packet, which is great to carry in your purse or at a value-sized bottle, these enzymes include all the enzymes you need to help break down food, which is super important so that you can get all the nutrients that you need in the food. It also includes probiotics that you need in your gut as well so that you can have a healthy gut flora. We also have Ultimate Aloe Juice. Aloe, the way you put it on your skin to heal your skin, is really key when you have it in a drink because it's going down your esophagus, it's great for your GI tract, it's great for your gut, it has vitamins, minerals, phytonutrients, amino acids. It's a whole leaf, 150% aloe, and it tastes really good. We have it in really good flavors like strawberry kiwi, cranberry apple, not just sort of that natural, really tastes like fuel kind of flavor. And then the other thing is the NutriClean probiotics. Probiotics are amazing. It's 10 different strains of over 10 billion CFUs of probiotics. It has a great sort of patented technology that allows it to get carried through your stomach without the stomach acids breaking it down. And it's also shelf stable. We talk very quickly about the TLS supplements. We can cover them in the back as well. But we have a wide variety to address all these different health line issues. One of the things you can do if you're interested in the program is we have a weight loss profile that you can go on the TLS Slim website, and it'll answer questions and it will tell you what product is best for you, and then you can research and take a look at the ingredients in the product more. But in general, I feel like the headlines sum it up. If you're someone who overeats, if you're someone who thinks about bread all day long, which is me, Core is the product you want. What's amazing about Core is that it's really a total body health product. There's a great chart in the back that talks about all the stats of how good Core is, how it raises your serotonin levels, how it lowers your bad cholesterol, how it lowers those C-reactive protein levels 15%. It's the kind of product you might want to stay on for a long time. It doesn't have any kind of caffeine in it. But the other thing is often we're eating foods that have hidden carbs, like salad dressings and foods like that maybe it's not as obvious as like I'm eating bread. And I think Dr. Z was talking about grass-fed beef. That's a big thing with my clients too. Sometimes they chicken themselves to death because they think beef is so bad, but what do chickens eat? Grains, right? So if you're trying to remove grains and you're eating chicken 7 days a week, you're eating grains, right? So you want to balance that a bit with grass-fed beef. Stressed out, we talked a little bit about cortisol levels. Here's the key to Axe, which is the stress product. When you're really high, what Axe does is it balances you out. When you're really low, it brings you up here. It's what we call an adaptogenic. So I always think of it, if you think of a really stressful situation, someone you love is in the hospital. This side of the room is gonna be stuck in the vending machine and not be able to get their face out of it, and this side of the room is gonna be starving themselves, okay? What Axe does is it balances. It gives you the nutrients that you need to get you to level, okay? The other thing is that when we generally are stressed, we eat. Most of us, right? We stress eat. So Axe can help with that. It helps balance your cortisol levels. It helps bump up your thyroid levels a little bit. And it also helps with adrenal fatigue. If you are someone that has Graves' disease, which is my condition, we have another product called Bliss, which is the product you'd want to take a look at for that. This is not for you if you have Graves'. If you're someone with a slow metabolism, we have a product called Thermochrome. The only product that's really caffeinated, so this gives you a little bit more energy, but it's great for your metabolism. CLA, what's great about CLA is it creates something called programmed cell death. And the program, which is called apoptosis, but the cells they kill are your fat cells. How many of you would like to kill your fat cells, right? That's kind of a good thing. So CLA, widely studied, comes from safflower oil. It helps target stubborn belly fat and body fat. And then the green coffee, Carcinia cambogia, what's amazing about that is that it sort of addresses a lot of the same slow absorption of carbs so you don't store fat, but it does it in a different mechanism than the core. It does it through your liver. So I know Lisa joked about that being her favorite product. I'm gonna guess it's because she's a wine drinker a little bit occasionally, or maybe not. But I find that's the product for a lot of my clients if they're drinking, because where do we metabolize alcohol? In our liver, right? So we wanna metabolize our fat there. Trim tea, covered really well by Monique before, but just to see the stats really quick, as she pointed out, C-reactive protein levels lowered over 50%, waist circumference, weight loss down on average over 10 weeks, about over 25 pounds. The thing about trim tea is 2 ingredients, really simple to take, and it's not just about weight loss. So if you're someone who's thin, you're not gonna be losing 25 pounds, right? But you might have other metabolic factors that are gonna be improved because of the trim tea. It's only 21 milligrams of caffeine. So if you're someone that's caffeine sensitive, I've found that this product isn't something that really would upset you. I often find my clients also like taking it around dinner time or after dinner time because it helps with nighttime cravings. Also, the studies were done on taking 1 pack a day, but you can take more than 1 pack a day. So if you're finding that it feels like it's curbing your appetite a bit, you can definitely take more than 1 pack a day. It's not like you'll lose 50 pounds in the 10 weeks though. 21-day challenge kit, I'm sure many of you guys have used this. What I love about the 21-day challenge kit is it's everything you need wrapped up in a $200 box. So you get a menu plan that takes you through how to handle the first 21 days, a detox week, and what we call a fat shredder, which is an increase of protein to get your metabolism going. And it includes some of our key products. That core I mentioned includes something called the 7-day detox kit, which gives you good quality fiber powder, gives you products that helps flush out your liver and helps you through peristalsis. I'm gonna cover the shakes in a second that it includes. It includes that OPC3 that Dr. Z talked about, as well as another isotonic capable multivitamin. We need a good quality multivitamin so that we can have a good healthy metabolism. We need a good healthy metabolism to burn fat and lose our weight. Shake options. So we have 3 different shake options. The middle one is the nutrition shake, probably the most popular one with TLS because it offers people like on-the-go support. So while everything about this program is about food, sometimes people are busy and they're flying out the door at 6 a.m. and they just want to eat something and get high-quality protein as well as fiber in it. What I love about this product is it's 19 grams of fiber, 19 grams of protein, 10 grams of fiber, but only 2 grams of sugar. They're so creamy and delicious. They come in chocolate and vanilla. We have a great download you can print out that kind of tells you how to have drinks, like a variety of different shake drinks, as well as some baked products. It's a dairy-based product. The whey protein shake is protein only. So this is really great, especially if you're someone who exercises. There's 21 grams of protein. It has branched chain amino acids in there. So it's really about, the building blocks of protein. We came out with a plant-based one because there's a lot of people that want either a balance between dairy and non-dairy, or for obviously people who are not eating dairy. So this is pea and rice protein, 11 grams of protein, 4.5 grams of fiber, 22 vitamins and minerals. It only comes in vanilla. I will say it's a tad sweet. So what's a really great way to kind of balance that is to put put vegetables in it, put it through like a NutriBullet or something, or add cacao powder. It can kind of like mute the sweetness a little bit. Last step really quickly is education. This is what separates this program. In general, would you agree that donuts are not as good for you as broccoli? Right? I feel like most people know the basics. You know when you're eating that food that's probably not your best choice, right? But what TLS does is it talks about all the other components that happen around weight loss. So it's teaching you, I think I have a slide that goes through it. So we talk about goal setting, we talk about label reading, we talk about eating out in restaurants, we're talking about good sweets, because eventually you might want to have a sweetener in your drink, right? We want to talk about grains, because even though it might be healthier for you in general to not have grains, there are some that might be healthier than others. We're going to be talking about good fats and bad fats, how to overcome stress, how to overcome obstacles that you might have, scheduling and thereabouts. And then the biggest thing is about plateaus, right? So many of us think that if the scale isn't moving, that means we're stuck. Plateaus means you aren't losing weight for up to 4 weeks in either fat, inches, or waist, or fat, or weight. Sorry, I knew there was a third one. So we want to educate people about different components to that. We have 2 things that help with education. One is an over 100-page journal that gives you education on each of those topics, as well as provides you with an opportunity to write down, what you're taking during the day, what you're eating during the day. To me, the most important part of the journaling is not just what you ate, which certainly is. Sometimes taking a picture, I think, is the best way to do that, so you can really see visually. But it's about writing down how you feel. Because what you need to start doing is saying, oh, I have energy today, my rings aren't bloated today, my stomach's not bloated today, I slept really well today. Once you start connecting the dots with that, with the food, that's when it gets into your brain. It took a lot of trial and error for me to commit to the fact that bagels made me bloated and made me feel not good. It was really, I tried very hard to not have it be the bagel. But it was enough journaling to allow me to get to that point. And then that way, the next time I went in to debate the bagel, or the metaphorical bagel, whatever it is, I could say, do I really want to feel that way? And at the end of the day, our goals and connecting how those foods are not only impacting how we feel, but our future health becomes super important. So besides the journal, we have a TLS Slim website, and on the TLS Slim website, we have a bunch of educational videos that talk you through each of these 12 chapters as well. So we have 6 different customized menu plans. When you go in and take the weight loss profile, which can also be done on paper, but it's really good on the website, it'll, based on your goals, tell you which menu plan is for you. What's important to know about TLS is we don't remove any food groups. So while some might be more restrictive, like detox and fat shredder, you can even have programs where you're gaining weight, like Insurance Steady and Continued Commitment. So there's food plans that have starches and grains and dairy, and vegetables and seeds and nuts, but everyone is different based on your goals. We also have a program called Simply Delivered. I'm assuming there's got to be some percentage here of people that do not like to cook, and that's where Simply Delivered comes in. So Simply Delivered, we work with 2 companies that we love. One is called Chef D, which is like a really cool version of HelloFresh. Because it allows you to pick the meals that you want. You can order as many servings of them as you want, as often as you want. I always feel like the challenges with HelloFresh is you get the menu they pick that week. But it's the same concept. They send you the ingredients and you get to cook the food. And then Bistro MD, we have some information about it in the back. This is basically frozen food, but it serves a purpose, right? So if you're coming home late at night and you want to grab something to eat, it's really good. Vegetables look like vegetables, the salmon looks like salmon and tastes like it. So considering what they are, as far as frozen meals, they're really great. And each one of those programs identifies the food based on the menu plan that you're on. So it makes it very simple for you. So finally, is TLS sort of the right program for you? So again, backed by science, we're comprehensive. And the biggest thing is customizable. So I find with a lot of my clients, because of those menu plans, they might start out, so actually, for example, I'm meeting with a woman recently who's pretty overweight. She's not gonna reach all of her goals in 21 days, right? I mean, it's not likely. So it's a journey, and within that journey, she's likely gonna move between the different menu plans, but she's got room to grow. So if you've kind of reached your goal, if you've done a jump start or like the 21-day, like the 21-day challenge is perfect right now because Memorial Day is about 21 days from now. So for those of you that have been hibernating because winter went on really long, I feel like for all of us, you might want to get the 21-day kit because that will get you right in time for the holiday, right? Get you a little bit to reduce the bloat and get you going. But following that, you'll be able to move into a different menu plan. So to get started, I'm sure those of you that are guests were brought here by somebody. Whoever brought you here has a TLS Slim website and they can give you that portal name and you can go right on that site and log in and you can take the weight loss profile, which will guide you with what menu plan to take. It will, like I said, it will mention to you the products that are recommended, and then it will take you to links where you can learn more about the products, or obviously the person who brought you here can educate you more about the products. The key with the program, though, is 3 things. It can be self-guided. You can work with a coach. You can work with a coach one-on-one. We do small groups, sort of as Dr. Skluth was saying in her office. So there's lots of different ways you can do the program. A lot of different people, including myself, run Facebook groups, so you can tap into things like that. But the biggest thing is just to get started, so that you get started on sort of this healthy lifestyle. And that's it.